Hello, horror fans. It's me, Cass, and today I am flying without Kylee. Kylee is unfortunately not able to make it today. Um, Baby Raiden is a little under the weather. We are sending well wishes to little Raiden. But if you don't know who I'm about to introduce, you should. So, Brewster is on with me, my Talking Tapes collective past I guess past co-worker.
Yes, coworker, monthly coworker. Now I'm your
Monthly.
tampon.
Yeah, but now you can find him weekly on the Whole Damn Enchilada podcast as well.
And whenever I get around to my own channel.
So how are you, Brewster?
I'm doing good, Cass. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing okay. I'm in the let's wrap up the summer with Dr. Giggles.
All right, that sounds good to me.
So tonight we are doing Dr. Giggles to wrap up our throwback month and then push us forward into our Hell House month for September. But this was one that we actually kind of already wanted to do. And then we found out through group chat that Brewster had not actually seen this one, which was really fucking surprising to me. So I'm like, we have to do it now. We have to do it.
Yeah, you lit a fire under my ass to watch that movie. I remember from as I was a kid, but then as the years went on, I just kind of forgot about it. And after watching it, I can see why I forgot about it. And
I feel like they didn't do a really good job at like marketing. I feel like they didn't know how to market this movie.
So I remember as a kid, I saw trailers all the time and wanted to see it because Larry Drake's laugh is fucking awesome. I love that. That's one thing I love about the movie. But I remember seeing marketing for all the time. I think they wanted to do something bigger, kind of like maybe with Wes Craven's Shocker, where they wanted it to be like a franchise thing, and it just didn't take off. And again, after watching it, I can see why.
It was a comic.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Yeah, I don't know if it was before or after. I'm going to find out on our commercial break, but it was a Dark Horse comic at one point in time. And so but Larry Drake is pretty iconic in the horror community. A lot of people remember him as this. They also remember him as the villain in Darkman.
Durant, right?
Yep, Durant. He was also had two very prominent episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
He did. He was the butler in the werewolf episode, The Secrets.
He was also the he was also the serial killing Santa Claus.
Yes, I watched that every Christmas and all through the house.
Yes, which is technically the original Creep Show, the original Tales from the Crypt that was in the original movie as well, and then he did the episode based off
the 5 people in the mansion or the castle that get led astray. I love that one. That one. I gotta get that on DVD.
Yes. So, but this is just a fun movie. It's also got it very young. I think this is literally right before like Charm. Like this was a couple years before Charmed, but Holly Marie Combs then goes on to do Charmed after this. But and Larry Drake was
in Angel.
Yes. So there was a lot of good, and this movie is just funny and silly, and I think that's why a lot of people don't take it seriously. But it's got some pretty gnarly kills, some pretty creative kills, and it's just a good time. So we're gonna go ahead and get started into this. From here on out, though, this is a spoiler. Effect is in alert. You can actually go watch this movie on Tubi right now. There is actually somebody uploaded. I think Scream Factory has this for free on their YouTube where you can watch it as well.
If you're paying for Shudder, it's on there.
Yes. But please go use Tubi and YouTube because these streaming services are being a little crazy right now. So let's go support Tubi. since they're still saying a real one. But it is on Tubi. We'll link it down below. Also, if I find the YouTube link, we'll put it in the description as well. But we're going to go ahead and get started and cue the intro.
Welcome to the Horrorcraft Podcast.
All right, we are back. So like we said in the intro, if you have not gone and seen this, please do so before watching the rest of this episode. We have the links where it's available. But this is one of my favorite movies. When I get asked what my favorite movie is, a lot of times I talk about this because there is something very enduring about Larry Drake's performance in this, and something where you almost want to just root for him because of how, like, just determined he is, and how just like he has this belief in his own mind, even though he's going through and murdering people, that he's doing the right thing. There's a level of insanity that I just don't think that can be touched when it comes to him. Like he's so insane, he almost makes himself look sane, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I just saw him as fucking batshit crazy. His brain was a bag of squirrels.
I don't know. I love him.
I enjoyed it too. I mean, the kills were great. I mean, he had these just gigantic, what was it? Gigantic
Band-Aid.
Tongue depressor, a Band-Aid, and then the ice cream death was, I think, my favorite.
Oh, that to me was just yeah, no. So a long time ago, during COVID, when I was watching movies with other people on Clubhouse, we did do a Clubhouse room where we talked about The Dentist versus Dr. Giggles.
Dentist got 3 of those at least.
Yes. Who do you think would take that fight? Dr. Giggles or the dentist?
The only thing I remember from the dentist, and I don't remember which one it was, but when he got the drill stuck in the girl's mouth and he was screaming at her, give me back my drill. So I'm going to go with Dr. Giggles. But he had such a calm, casual demeanor about him. Like, he was, no matter what happened, he was always very calm. He didn't seem bothered by anything. Like, he was never perturbed by anything that would happen. I mean, that's how I saw him as more cool under pressure than the dentist was.
Yeah, I think there is just, even though the dentist, that one is a little it's scary as well, but the dentist, he also correct me if I'm wrong, but in the original one, it's his girlfriend or his wife that ends up like running it off on him, and that's what makes him go. Yeah, I feel like that's what made him go. Like, he didn't wake up crazy like Dr. Giggles. He literally, like, one day he just snapped, and that's how he moved forward. Dr. Giggles, like, you watch a lot of this movie and you realize, like, from the very jump, since he was a little kid, he has been a psychopath.
What was his father's upbringing, or the way his father raised him? I mean, to make him think, or to teach him like this stuff in his eyes was okay.
Yes, very much so. So, for those of you who have not seen Dr. Giggles, I'm going to go ahead and briefly synopsize it. But basically, it's about a doctor. We're going to put it in loose terms. But he is a madman who believes he's a doctor. And he comes back to the town where his father was killed. His father was persecuted and hunted down for killing people after he went crazy after his wife died. And he starts picking up the mantle of his father and killing people in very interesting and unique ways. And through this, he meets Holly Marie Combs' character, and she currently is experiencing some issues with her heart. And that is a soft spot for Dr. Giggles because his mom died of a weak heart, and he wants to fix her because that's what his father was doing with all of the other people that he killed. Was he was trying to find a way to fix the problem that killed his wife. um and it just, I mean, the body count's pretty high in this movie. This movie
Pretty,
is
pretty insane. It moves pretty fast.
it's 17 kills in this movie.
Jesus.
And none of them are off screen. All of them are on screen.
Including the ice cream death.
Ice cream death just I don't know. There's something about that. You know what it is? It's for those of you who haven't seen it, we talk about this all the time, and you could actually go watch Kylie's video about it. But the corset scene in Scarehouse, when they're literally corseting her to death and they squeeze her like insides and then out, it did not look great. And that's what that, like the ice cream stuff, that's what that reminded me of.
I think it's because we all love ice cream, and that movie almost ruined it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, she kind of deserved it.
Yeah, she was a bitch. She reminded me of the mother in Nightmare on Elm Street 5, who was making her daughter like a supermodel.
Yes.
She reminded me of. Or the mom in Jessica Jones. She was the same way.
Yeah, she just, it was very much like your mom's dead, get over it. Like, I'm the new one. Which it was kind of anyone growing up, that whole thing of like her replacing her mom and like the daughter walking in while they're like going at each other and stuff. That was very like, oh, Jesus. Like, you could kind of feel her pain.
Yeah.
Out of all the deaths, though, in this movie, which one do you think is your favorite?
Well, I made that clear already.
The ice cream.
Yeah.
Is there a secondary one that you feel like?
The tongue depressor one. I thought that was pretty brutal.
So the tongue depressor one is that for me, because researching this, I found out that they actually had to create an oversized mouth prop to do that, and they had to give Larry Drake a like large tongue depressor to be able to do that. So apparently there is a picture on the internet where he has a giant just like tongue depressor that they made for him specifically for that. Also doesn't help that I didn't like that neighbor from the jump. Doesn't mean that she deserved what she got, but I mean, couldn't happen to a nicer person. So, but it was just the whole like methodical, like he replaced her pill, like, and then you think that he's gonna like choke her with the tongue depressor, and then it's actually like the tool for the nose that ends up doing it.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, which you kind of feel, anyone who's had to have like a checkup that way, or so, you kind of feel that instantly. Or now we all kind of know more or less how that is, because think about how many COVID tests and different things that you had to do, like the swabs for.
I took one COVID test, and that was to get onto the set of Baby Oopsie Daisy. But at this point, it was 2021, so they weren't. I guess they weren't as thorough, because I was like, all right, well, I didn't want to do it, but I'm like, this will be worth it to get on the set of a full moon movie. So I went through the CVS drive-through, they gave me the tip, and I'm like, just kind of like, let's fucking do this, think of demonic toys. And they, I put it in and just told me to stop, and I'm like, this is nothing. I mean, from what I saw in early videos and stuff, it like went all the way back in there. With
yeah, if you get an actual like, or what's the other one?
Yeah, God.
They have to take it like really far back.
Yeah. I got my stomach pumped once I was in my early 20s. That was enough.
Yeah, no. But yeah, that to me was hard. The other one for me that was funny, but was also just kind of a ridiculous ridiculous kill is when he takes in the beginning when he's operating on the person and he ends up keeping the hands and he puts the hands on the receptionist and she thinks it's like the doctor like feeling her up and it's his dead hands.
And that's in the very beginning, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So, but for me, that was just like, you're petty for that. Like you had to have known, like he was like thinking about that in his back pocket. Like, the Band-Aid one is another big one. The only thing about the Band-Aid that gets me is we don't actually see a lot of that kill.
Yeah.
And I feel like a big part of that is I do know that the director, Manny Cotto, I think I'm saying that right. He has gone on and said that the MPA rating system came at him pretty hard in his original cuts of the movie and basically told him like he had to tone it down or else they were going to pull the movie.
He got the Rob Zombie treatment.
Yeah. Which this movie is pretty bloody to begin with, so I'd be really like,
let's look for that director's cut.
Yes. If they could have a naughty cut for Krampus, which I enjoy, let's get a director's cut of...
No. If there's a director's cut of anything, it's either House of a Thousand Corpses or Event Horizon. That's what I want director's cuts of.
That's a good one. Dr. Giggles.
I'm not saying I would be opposed to watching it. I'm just saying it's not at the top of my list.
Yeah. So one of my facts is this. Killer POV podcast. So we'll list this down below. Manny Cotto revealed that the MPA told him he had a lot of work to do on the film before they could give it an R rating. They had to cut out a lot of the gore because the MPA was particularly harsh on them since horror films faced heavy censorship in the early 90s, which makes sense because this was 92. Yeah, 92. We're just rolling with that. It is 92, but it makes sense because look at all the full moon movies that came out during that time, all the trauma movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like their response to how censored horror had become.
Yeah.
So, I want to see that now. So, Manny, if you're out there, please drop it.
Do it for Cass.
Do it for me.
Do it for Cass. Me. Can't do it for me. Do it for Cass.
So this was a Dark Horse comic before it was a movie. This was actually a part of a deal with Largo Entertainment, where they signed and they got a lot of the Dark Horse comics. Dr. Giggles was the first movie produced from that deal. Dark Horse Comics, if I'm not mistaken, had a lot of like the kind of like graphic novel stuff before. Yeah, so like Dark Horse Comics had issues of like the Justice League and different things, but they had more of like the side stories. So like Hellboy was a big one. They had the Kiss comics.
Oh, Jesus.
You weren't a fan of the Kiss comics?
I was not in the Kiss army. I dig a few of their songs for sure, but I never bought into that whole hype. No judgment to anyone who has. I have Kiss was not one of them.
So the detailed list of Dark Horse comics is they have Hellboy, Sin City, The Umbrella Academy, The Mask, 300, The Goon, Black Hammer, Alien versus Predator, along with a bunch of other ones, Time Cop being another one. So this was kind of the beginning of like all of those. So that's really cool to find out. Who's your favorite character in this besides Dr. Giggles?
Oh, Glenn Quinn's character.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, there's not much more to go. I mean, Holly Marie Combs, of course, will make a good final girl. Hey, knock it off. Sorry, the cat. She make a great final girl, which well, this is airing on Friday, so by now people know Dr. Giggles is my theme next week. So she'll most likely be the Forgotten Legends of Horror. But I like Wayne Quinn. I loved him as Mark and Roseanne. I mean, his character was kind of a scumbag because you remember the party scene, he was cheating on his girl. But and he passed away from, I think, a heroin overdose back in 2001, I think.
Yes.
And I liked him. I loved him as Mark and Roseanne, and I liked him as Doyle on Angel, even though he only made it to, I think, 9 episodes before his character passed. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I mean, I'd say aside from Holly Marie Combs, he's probably my third list. There's another horror icon of this. I don't know the guy's name. But
Keith Anderson.
Is that the guy from Night of the Demons too?
Keith Diamond.
I think so.
Hold on. I'm looking. Keith Diamond, I'm pretty sure, because Keith Diamond has been in everything.
No, it wasn't the cop. It was one of the other partiers. He was in Night of the Demons too.
We are going to figure that out. Well, there were a lot of people that were like hit or miss in this movie.
Yeah.
There were a lot of just different ones that were like Keith. So the reason Keith Anderson, who is the cop, Keith Diamond, sorry, that stood out to me is because it's interesting because later on he works again with Holly Marie Combs because he did an episode arc on Charmed.
Oh, did he?
I think when Shannon Doherty was still alive. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to fact check myself on that one, but he was an inspector. He had like 4 episodes, but I found it really interesting because for some reason, his face, when I saw him on screen, it just was like, I know this guy from somewhere, and it's because I watched an obscene amount of Charmed.
Well, speaking of Charmed, Leo was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt as well.
He was.
With Matt Damon's brother and Keith Coogan.
Yep. Yep. He was.
A little throwback to our Erie Culture Fest venture back in April.
Yes. I love Holly Marie Combs, but again, that's just because like I grew up with Charmed. I also think Holly Marie Combs is like incredibly underrated for who she was. Like growing up, I was a huge Piper Phoebe fan.
Mm-hmm.
Later on now watching it, I feel like I relate more to Piper and more to Prue, Shannon Doherty's character growing up.
I only seen a few episodes of Charmed. I didn't hate it, it was still airing. But I mean, I could go back and see myself rewatching it for like a nostalgia thing because it had that Buffy Angel vibe, But I mean, I just don't have the time for it. I mean, I probably wouldn't turn it on if I had cable and it was on TV, or I probably wouldn't turn it off if I had cable and it was on TV.
I think for me, I feel like a lot of women my age are going to agree with this, but this was kind of the first CW show that was like in that vein of like Buffy and Angel, but it was women.
Yeah.
And you could see yourself as one of the women. And also it was something that was more widely available because I feel like Buffy and Angel, a lot of parents knew right away, like, no go, like, we're not doing this. Where Charmed, like, my mom didn't care that I watched Charmed. Now, would she realize the effect that had on my life going back if she would let me watch it or not? Probably not. But it was just like, it was almost kind of like the Monsters of our generation, where it was like a sleeker, more sexier, but it was like a teen drama, like young adult drama. And so you just got that like vibe for it. I have a deep love, especially like I've gone back and rewatched it now that Julian McMahon died, and he was one of my crushes growing up.
Yeah.
As Cole. So that really like hit me in my feels when he passed away because I feel like he was a big part of me growing up.
No, I get that.
But if you haven't watched Charm, go watch it. It's great.
But after this podcast, don't turn the podcast off.
Yeah, don't turn the podcast off, or don't like watch it mid podcast. Please don't. Wait. So have you seen Darkman?
When I was a kid, I saw it in theaters. I don't remember much except Liam Neeson and then the beginning when Durant was putting the cigar cutters in the guy's fingers.
Tell me if you don't get shades of Durant from Dr. Giggles.
I don't, because I saw Dr. Giggles once in theaters when I was a kid. So when year did that come out? Because I was with my dad. He took us because that was a Sam Raimi movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sam Darkman also has
Comic books and shit. But there's a video game. I remember that too. This came
There's
out
a
in
video
1990. I was 8 years old.
Yeah. Well, no, what I was saying is Darkman also had multiple sequels to
Yeah.
it. So Larry Drake plays Durant in 1 and 2, but then I think it's somebody different in 3.
Yeah, I'm looking it
Yeah.
up right now.
It is. Because in 2, I'm also I have no life. I think we established this.
I didn't say a word.
But 2, Arnold Vosloo is Darkman in place of Liam Neeson, and he is people will then know him for going on afterwards and doing The Mummy as Imhotep.
Was that dude?
Yep.
The fuck out of here.
Yeah. It is.
Huh. No shit.
So I should know because The Mummy is literally my whole childhood. Like,
I saw the first 2. I never got into the Scorpion King or Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
I've watched them all just because I, again, have no life.
How many Scorpion King prequels can there be before it happens? I mean, does the 4th one end with him in the desert like at the beginning of The Mummy Returns or no?
No, they went on to 5.
They went into 5. Does a 5th one end in that aspect?
There's a 5th one. They changed a bunch. So it was obviously The Rock in the first one.
Yeah.
And then the second one was a prequel about him being younger.
Yeah.
And like the whole brotherhood thing. And then 3 and 4, Victor Webster, who does a lot of Hallmark movies and was also in Charmed.
God.
Was the Scorpion King. I actually really like him, so that's why I watched him. And then
no, when you said Hallmark movies, all I could think about is that that YouTube video with the guy, Cheesy Hollywood Love Story.
Yeah,
I love that thing. I watched it the past 2 years since I've known about it.
Yeah, so he's done a lot of those too. He did Continuum when that was popular on Sci-Fi, and then there have been a couple other shows. But then the last installment, Zach McGowan from Black Sails was the Scorpion King. It was like a whole thing.
Lou Ferrigno was in one of those.
Yes, he was in the third one because so
Okay.
was oh my gosh, who's the other wrestler? No, it was the fourth one. The third one has Batista in it.
Get the fuck out of here.
The third one has Batista in it.
You're lying.
And it has
You're lying.
Jimbo.
You're lying.
Yeah, no, it's got a bunch
You're not
of different.
lying.
I am not lying. There.
Hey, Billy Zane's in there too.
Billy Zane was in that.
And Midnight Baby.
Yep. So this is all, and again, that goes back to Charm because he was in. This whole movie goes back to Charm because everybody that we've talked about has done something on Charmed, which was kind of crazy. But I mean, I guess that's what you get for having.
What about Brian Thompson?
Brian Thompson did 3 episodes of Charmed.
Are you serious?
That's how I know about Brian Thompson. Brian Thompson did one where he was the 4 horsemen.
Oh my God, I was kidding. Of the apocalypse. Jesus.
And then another one, he was one of the Titans, which was like the Greek god, like before the Greek gods.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where young Cass was like, there's something about this guy.
That's when Cass got her first drool cup, right?
The bib that you and Kylee so graciously provided me. So getting back to this though, This really is kind of a testament to how great some of these actors are, though, especially Larry Drake, because I feel like that is the whole reason this movie works. There is no realm where this works without Larry Drake. And I think
the main character.
True, but there were talks of other people playing this character, like Ted Danson.
You're full of shit again.
I am not full of shit.
How did Ted Danson play Dr. Giggles?
It's on the IMDb. Ted Danson was looked at for this.
There was some horror movie Ted Danson was actually in. It was he had like a Sixth Sense type of thing, could see spirits and stuff.
Yes, Matt Frewer was also another one.
Him I could see. That's fucking Max Headroom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was also a horseman on Supernatural.
Yes.
Pestilence.
So, but he is not. So Dr. Giggles is not the only character that they were thinking about other people for. Jennifer Aniston and Ashley Judd both auditioned for the role of Jennifer, which is kind of crazy considering that Jennifer Aniston goes on and does Leprechaun.
Her first movie.
And she shit on that for years.
Oh, it's such a great movie, though.
Until Warwick Davidson called her out on it, and then she kind of backpedaled on it. But it's like, you could have ended up doing Dr. Giggles.
Right.
And then you ended up doing Leprechaun. So that is a very, like, interesting dichotomy.
Dude, that's such a great cast in that movie, though.
Leprechaun is pretty iconic.
We had Chubbs from Teen Wolf, the main handyman guy that Jennifer Aniston was crushing on was in summer school. He was the guy who was always sleeping. Jennifer Aniston, the little kid was in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Den. A couple other movies around that time period. Was some movie with Hulk Hogan, Mr. Nanny. That was it. It's such a great cast. I won't veer off because we'll save that for St. Patty's Day. I'll come back for it. We'll do Leprechaun.
Yes. So in Brazil, this film was named The Death Specialist.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. The house that belonged to Dr. Giggles was not a real house, but a prop that was set up in a park. The crew built this prop house instead of a real home so they could blow it up at the end of the movie. That's dedication.
Hopefully they get it in one take.
That would suck. Do you just have an extra house laying around?
Oh, you just if you go with The Simpsons, you just glue a bunch of cows together.
Mm.
That's a Radioactive Man season 7. Sorry.
So in other facts about this, Dr. Giggles, the German VHS version of this was actually cut. 4 minutes were cut out of it to secure a R rating from them. This cut version still found its way onto the notorious Index for Youth Endangering Media from 1994 until 2016. And the November 2017 Dr. Giggles, when it was released on Blu-ray and DVD for the first time, this is the same cut version that was previously on VHS in Germany.
So is that the German equivalent of the USA's Video Nasties?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, makes you just want to see it more.
Yeah, because they were a lot harsher. In that. So there were a lot of like movies that got taken out because of like religious subtext and different things like that.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to hear all of that. There were a lot of goofs in this movie. When Dr. Giggles overhears the answering machine, Harper identifies himself as Chief Harper. When they play the message moments later, Harper identifies himself as Sheriff Harper, and that you could still hear that in that cut. Because I heard it. I have the DVD version, so I heard it earlier. When Tamara is in the bedroom, she tosses the ice cream on the mirror. She then starts to clean it off, but is actually smearing the ice cream, leaving a huge stain on the mirror. When she notices the medical kit on the bed, she turns around. Behind her, the mirror is now spotless.
What are you turning into cinema sins here now?
Yes. Yeah, there's just a lot, which is kind of funny. So one of the wildest scenes to me, and I don't know if you felt this way too, when he performs surgery on himself, that to me is just crazy work.
I'd seen it in a couple movies prior, so I was kind of desensitized to it. I mean, granted, one was kind of like a cartoon, weird creep show thing that shot during the pandemic, but still.
Yeah, this was the first one that I was like, are you good, bruh? Like, are you?
Again, I watched all 15 seasons of Supernatural. They kind of sewed themselves up all the time using dental floss and whiskey.
I mean, I get it. I've watched, that's kind of what they did in Black Sails.
I never seen that.
Black Sails is really good. I mean, that's what they did. They were pirates. So like,
well, that's different.
Your arms are falling off. You patched yourself back up.
Oof.
So Kevin Bacon did it in that short-lived series, The Bondsman, which really pissed me off because that was a good fucking series. He also did that in The Following. I'm still surprised that man made it out alive.
That guy's just everywhere, isn't he?
Always, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
He was just in some horror movie recently. We were just talking. Well, we were talking about Tremors, but he was in some horror movie recently, or maybe it was The Bondsman I was thinking of.
It's the Bondsman is the most recent one. Then we talked about Hollow Man.
Some haunted house movie. There's one called The Darkness. There's They Them. I know I'm forgetting.
He was in Stir of Echoes.
He was
in a lot. Kevin Bacon's in quite a many of horror movies. So him and Josh Brolin are horror daddies.
Josh Brolin. All I know Death Proof, not Death Proof, Planet Terror, Hollow Man.
Jonah Hex.
That's a comic movie. I wouldn't call that horror.
That movie's fucking terrifying. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's a comic movie. They had the character Jonah Hex in Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay,
He's a DC character. It's a comic movie.
That sucked. Yeah, I mean, he was in Sin City.
Comic movie.
Yeah, he was in Mimic though too.
Okay, fair enough.
So, I mean, he was in a lot. Kevin Bacon was in a lot too. I mean, now he's
we know Kevin Bacon's in a lot.
Kevin Bacon's in a ton. But Kevin Bacon more recently Kevin Bacon also did a lot of horror TV. So like The Following was another big one.
Yeah, you mentioned The Following and The Bondsman. Let's not go over Kevin Bacon's filmography. We'll go way over an hour on that one.
The movie that you were thinking about though, because it was bothering me, is You Should Have Left.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very interesting, but
4 years ago, I think.
Yeah. So we never get obviously a Dr. Giggles 2.
No.
Dr. Giggles dies at the end, but there's like this has a false ending to it. So you think he's dead at one point in time, then he actually dies. Where would you have liked to see this movie go if they had gotten a sequel?
Oh, God. I didn't really want it to get a sequel. So if I did, maybe there was a victim off camera that you never see him mess with that survived it and kind of went Looney Tunes because of it. And like saw it as Dr. Giggles showing a way to embrace his pain and not feel it anymore.
See, I always wondered if Dr. Giggles 2 would be a Holly Marie Combs that has to live with all the trauma, because like throughout this movie, that's like the thread line through all of this is she has a lot of trauma from her mom passing away. She's now having similar health issues to what her mom had, and she doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so it'd be very interesting to see if once she got past it, if the shadow of Dr. Giggles was like behind her,
Yeah.
so to speak. Like if it starts driving her crazy to the point where she starts kind of embracing that kind of psychoticness, almost in a like stepfather kind of way,
Yeah.
where the lines like, the part in Stepfather where I'm talking about, where he's like, what family am I living with?
See, I'm
Who am I?
seeing what I'm getting from what you're saying, that is kind of like the main girl character in Strangeland during the second half of the movie, because in the
Yes.
middle of the movie she gets rescued, but the movie doesn't end there. It ends with Carlton. Well, it picks up with Carlton Hendricks in rehab or a mental facility, and her dealing with the trauma and having nightmares of Captain Howdy tracking her down at her house and stuff.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, kind of in that vein almost. And then it drives her to then turn into Dr. Giggles.
That could be a good one.
I think that would be a great one. I think the Hollywood Marie Combs should do it now. So
it could happen. I mean, again, get Holly Marie Combs out there, and we'll meet her at one of these conventions, and you can tell her to do it. You that sweet talking voice of yours, Cass. I'll walk with you like I did for the Mighty Ducks chick.
Oh, Marguerite.
There you go.
I wasn't interested in her because of Mighty Ducks. She's great.
Queen of the Damned, I know.
Yeah, that's my Super Bowl, okay? So
no judgment. I'm a judgment-free zone there. But Kylie's not here, so I gotta take up extra damage on the insults here. I gotta up the ante.
You gotta up the ante. You always are upping the ante. So
hey, it's like Brian coming with me for 2 Faces of Insanity and me coming back here. You guys still invite me back, so I don't know who's more at fault at this one.
Us, probably.
There you go. Yes. So you know how I am. You call me back.
Yeah. So this is a movie that I refer a lot of people to if they're looking for a gateway into horror, because I do think that this is one that is more like beginner horror friendly. If you're going, I'm saying like for people who have already been in that kind of like uphill, like we've seen the classics, we want to go deeper into, and then you want to start like diving more into like the 80s and 90s and a lot of these obscure films, then this is something that I'd be like, okay, if you're looking for something new, I would start with this. It's this normally and then Changeling. What's a movie like in the vein of Dr. Giggles that you would recommend to somebody?
Is gateway horror?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. I've never, you know what, in all my years, I don't think I've ever been, well, when people ask me, I have to ask what they're kind of into. Like, does it haunted house, ghosts, that kind of stuff. So I really don't have a specific set gateway horror.
Yeah, I think for me, like if people like this angle of things where it's like the campy but like the gory kind of route, Scanners is a big one for me.
Scanners. You know what? If I was comparing this movie to something like that for as far as campy goes, the first one that comes to mind every time I think of this movie is with Clint Howard, the Ice Cream Man.
Yes.
I see a lot of that in this movie. I mean, granted, I think Ice Cream Man came out afterwards.
Yes.
I saw them in reverse order. So Ice Cream Man first, then this one. I see a lot of similarities with these two.
The other one I would say definitely too that I refer a lot of people to is when they were doing the Masters of Horror. It's in the similar vein of Ice Cream. The Ice Cream, We Scream.
It had William Forsythe and
had a lot of people.
Yeah, Lee Turgeson or something. He was in Oz. I remember that. He was Beecher.
The other one, I would say, if people are looking for like darker, if they liked the vibe of this, but then they're looking for something a little bit darker, I kind of point people to American Mary.
I haven't seen that one. I think
Yeah.
I know of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of oh my goodness, what is Catherine Isabel? My
I
brain
don't
just
know that
blinked
name.
out. Ginger Snaps.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Supernatural, Freddy versus Jason. Gotcha.
But it's also this is a famous movie, famously known for the Soska sisters,
Okay.
and what they've done. But
And
American
that's
Mary
different
is,
from the Hex Girls.
yes. American Mary is a different one because it's kind of like the um adult version of this. Like this is very cartoonish, where American Mary is like, Catherine Isabel's character is playing somebody that is just trying to claw their way out of debt and different things, and decides to perform elective surgeries for people, and it takes her down a dark pathway.
I'll check
Um,
this one out.
yeah, you would probably like it. The other one for me, and it's probably like one that kind of, it's more or less like the theming behind it necessarily. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah. You kids going camping?
Just purely for like the whole, just like the comedy is very, I think, very in the similar vein, because like that whole movie, Tucker and Dale, they are just trying to have a vacation, and
I
like,
know. Two of the nicest guys. Like, just go over there. You're smart. You're confident. You're handsome. You just go over there and laugh, but you just laugh. She's got
yeah.
that big scythe with them. You kids going camping?
Another one that just popped in my head, that's kind of like a psychotic character, but it's more grown up. I loved Gossip Girl growing up, and Leighton Meester and Penn Bagley, they were in a movie called Drive Through that's got a psychotic
Horny the
clown,
Clown.
Horny the
With a
Clown.
cameo from Morgan Spurlock.
Yep.
Yes, I
Yep.
remember Horny. That movie was awesome.
That movie, but it's kind of the same thing, because you're not expecting a lot from Drive Through,
Yeah.
and the way it delivers, it's the same kind of vein with Dr. Giggles, where Dr. Giggles, you're not expecting it to be as punchy as it is, and Drive Through has some intense kills as well.
Dude, I love Drive Through.
Oh, every time, I can never look at McDonald's the same after that, just purely like for like, he's gonna kill people.
I love Drive Through. I haven't seen that movie in, oh fuck, I think 2014, somewhere between 13 and 16. I know that, and don't ask me how. And so it's been what, over 10 years, I think, almost 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
And
I feel like,
I got to buy that on DVD.
yeah, I feel like that's one that falls under the radar. The other one that kind of like, just for the insanity part of it, and kind of like the losing their mind kind of part of it. I don't know if you ever saw it, and I really wish they would make more movies in this vein, but Dark Ride.
No.
Okay, so Dark Ride is about a group of like kids that they go to this like closed down dark
Wait,
ride attraction.
the one kid from The Sandlot, right?
Yep.
Dude was getting head, and the guy cut off the girl's head,
Yep.
his head, and gave a strawberry shortcake. Yes, I do
Yep.
know that movie. That was, I think, the After Dark Horror Fest, 8 Films to Die For. Yes, I did see that one.
Yeah, because there's like a whole like, but for me, it's like the whole use of like a dark, abandoned like theme park, abandoned property, and then the whole
that's the
like
premise for a lot of horror movies. Well, that's the
I
setting for
feel
a lot
like
of horror movies.
I feel like with the Dark Ride and with like a lot of like theme parks and stuff, I feel like that's something that doesn't get talked about enough, because that's creepy.
Yeah,
Like,
but there was, I mean, they used the setting for that. Well, it wasn't abandoned, but it was in Warlock the Armageddon. There was that artifact exhibit that he went into. That's a whole another rabbit hole. But there was fuck, it's coming. I can't. Oh, god damn it, the Funhouse.
Yeah, but we don't talk about the Funhouse.
Why?
Yeah, because the Funhouse is just not great.
Okay.
But
I remember being very good. I just didn't know if there was a story behind that or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Fair enough.
But no, I'm just talking like abandoned theme parks, abandoned amusement parks. That's something that doesn't, I think, get enough credibility. And I will tell you, because this is a deep YouTube rabbit hole that I go through, like when I'm like can't watch it things at night, and especially living by Cedar Point. But like people who go and do actual urban explorations in abandoned theme parks, those are fucking terrifying. Like the way that a lot of those just decay and they sit there, they are naturally scary. So then that movie takes something that's already naturally terrifying, which is something that sat there for years, and amps it up by being like, yeah, these two girls were murdered, and this was the place, and like has a whole like side plot with like asylums and different things. I think that like ramps it up. The only movie I think that's come close to something like that is Session 9 with the abandoned mental hospital.
Yeah. There was another one of those After Dark Horror Fests that had Robert Patrick in it. It was abandoned hospitals, or it was in an abandoned hospital.
Yes.
And you find out at the end he was like harvesting organs or something to try and save his wife or something. But
yes,
it had one guy in there. He was actually in Strangeland. He was in one, I think, in Witchmaster 2. He's been in a couple horror movies. And then this like zombie type patient attacked somebody, and the dude was trying to push him off, and his hands were like right through his skin and just blood gored on top of him. It was a gnarly one. Those were good. I have not seen every one of those, but I think they did 4 years of them.
Yeah, they did 4 years of them, and they did really good. The one that I think about too is the one with Dominic Purcell. That was the Grave Dancers.
Yes.
They danced on the grave. Yeah, that was a really good one. But they had a lot of really. So I think that's a good way to end this too, because I think that's also another one that doesn't get talked about a lot. That's kind of like this.
Okay.
Where a lot of people look at those After Dark films and think, oh, okay, well, they're not going to be much. Yeah. And they ended up being like super bangers.
Oh, the Hamiltons was a weird one too.
Yes. The Hamiltons live rent free in a part of my brain that I just don't even want to understand.
I never saw the second one. Heard it wasn't as good.
I don't think it was. I don't briefly remember it. But if you could sum up Dr. Giggles in one word or one sentence, what would it be?
One word or one sentence? Ridiculous. I mean, because he's got his laugh. Okay, I want to say this before we cut the episode. This was one of the weirdest scenes for me, and it's not even weird. The dude's looking for his girl. He goes to get a condom.
Oh, yeah.
Just out of the toilet. How big is that bed? He's like crawling through this thing. Even as a kid, my parents' king size bed was not that big. You know, I mean, I know it's movie magic, but just he kept going and going.
No, it made me think of Nightmare on Elm Street and New Nightmare when little kid,
breadcrumbs.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, like eventually it shouldn't have taken you that long to find Larry Drake. It really should not have.
Right.
But it did. But I mean, that whole thing, that was, I will say, that was kind of a skeevy part of that movie too. Like, you stole your stepmom, I think it was mom or stepmom's lingerie to have your girlfriend
fished a condom out of a toilet and went to use it. I mean,
I'm just going to say this before I move on. None of the men in this movie, except for Dr. Giggles, was doing anyone any favors. The dad, like, you should have been more focused on your parenting than boinking your new wife, first of all. Second of all, like, the fact that your daughter took her heart monitor and chucked it into a fucking fish tank should have been signal one for you. The boyfriend's a dick. Like, your girlfriend just opened up how she's afraid to die and like she's afraid to be a burden, and then you go to a party and like cheat on her.
Yeah.
And then have the audacity to be concerned. You weren't concerned when you thought she was at home safe and sound.
Yeah.
And all the guys like with their girlfriends in this movie, period. Like the one guy who like fakes things out and then ends up like he does end up getting him, Larry, when they're in the house and they're all in there. But all the guys in this movie were not the greatest. The only maybe the cop. Maybe the cop. Like the cop
they
died.
were all dicks. I mean, I'm with you. They all fucked.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, no. In that aspect, I think Dr. Giggles did you a favor by taking some of those guys out.
Oh, I wasn't complaining when any of them got killed. Don't worry.
Yeah, no. It was like I would be saying jail immediately, anyways, for how weird they were.
Yeah, it was pretty
it was kind of weird too that like the boyfriend kind of makes it out of all this. Like he couldn't have just gone.
Don't forget Sleepaway Camp 3, the one girl cheated on her out-of-town boyfriend, and then she survived at the end of it.
Sleepaway Camp 3 didn't have Alyssa Rose in it, though, so I'm not interested.
No, but it had Pamela Springsteen. Come on now.
I mean, yeah, but
2 and 3 were different. We're good on a different level. The first
I mean, they were. I mean, they were, but I'm listen. I love Alyssa Rose. She has my heart for life, and so
she is a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart.
But yeah, no, the guys. So for me to sum this up, I would say this is just a fun dive into insanity. This is like if you wanted to watch In the Mouth of Madness on LSD, that's what this would be.
The great Sam Neill.
Yes. But you know, like In the Mouth of Madness, it has that like layers of insanity, but in a very like elevated horror type way, a very like tongue-in-cheek way, but not exactly this. This is like fully like, okay, we saw you. Yeah. We raised you this kind of way. So I think that's why it's just a lasting impact. And I mean, Larry Drake is incredible in this. This movie is just well done. The props, the whole physicality of all of this. I think that's why it's really like stood the test of time. So if you like this movie, you've never watched anything with Larry Drake in it before, please go check him out. He is in 2 episodes of Tales from the Crypt. He is also in the Darkman series in 2 entries. And we will list his IMDb down below. But if you haven't seen the Darkman series either, that's a good direction to go in because those are great. And we stand somebody that actually like looks back and goes, yeah, I did those movies. I'm talking to you, Liam Neeson. You're still good in my book. So not like Jennifer Aniston. We had to bring that back around.
But in short, I'll agree with you. You should watch it at least once, but watch the trailer first, and that'll give you everything you need to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I just like it. I like Sam Raimi, and the girl that plays Gabrielle from Xena, I think she's in the second or the third one. Mm-hmm. So that sold it for me. Like I feel like Xena raised me growing up. Raised my sister too. Yeah. But so we're gonna go ahead and scoot on over to what's on our mind in horror this week. I will go ahead and go first. So kind of been in a little bit of a horror slum. I've talked about this. I don't know. There just wasn't anything super exciting on the radar. I will say literally right before I got on to get ready for this, one of my members of the Hellzone and I were talking about this movie, and I guess they dropped the teaser trailer for it today, but they dropped the teaser trailer for Return to Silent Hill.
Oh, is that finally happening?
It's finally coming out in January, and I'm scared. I was already scared because I've had some people see some early screenings of it, so maybe they did that with the intention of improving the movie, but the pyramid head in this looked good, but just scared, especially if this is like adapting Silent Hill 2, and they just had that really great game version of Silent Hill 2 that came out with Luke Roberts a couple years ago that was really well received. I'm a little scared if this is the direction we're going in, and I was super hyped for this, and I don't have many expectations when it comes to stuff like this, but
Yeah, not after Silent Hill Revelations.
yeah. Listen, Sean Bean couldn't even save that, and that's saying something. So, but I am excited because there are a slew of good movies that are coming out. That I've seen, like Good Boy. Kylee just did a review on that. Dangerous Animals, the shark serial killer movie that was in theater over the summer. That's hitting Shudder next month. I'm really excited to see that with Jai Courtney. But this week they released a trailer for a Shudder exclusive called Night of the Reaper.
I scrolled past that. I didn't have a chance to watch it earlier because it was like 3% battery. But,
so it looks really good. It's about a babysitter that is drawn into a deadly game by a scavenger hunt to find a killer. But it just kind of, I don't know. It just seems like really good. And it seems like I kind of got a little bit of burnout with Shudder for a minute before we pull out the pitchforks. Hear me out. But it wasn't the fact of like the content, but it was just a lot of the same thing.
Yeah.
And there are some really good gems that go in there.
Of course.
But I just think it was like an oversaturation of the same thing over and over again. A lot of people said like Clown in the Cornfield. I'll say that wasn't it because I liked Clown in the Cornfield. And I think that that's a solid like introduction to horror. And the twist in that, if you haven't read the book and you don't know what's going on, is kind of fucking wild. So, but I'm really excited to see that they're like upping the ante for going into spooky season. So
yeah, VHS Halloween comes out in Shudder this October.
Yes, and also we are going to hear about it any day, but Hell House Lineage is going to hit Shudder in October as well.
Yeah, me and Rick saw that last week, and I think we're doing a review for it. Well, this is airing on Friday, so it'll be yesterday because we all had stuff going on. So the live episode, you know what I mean? It's going to be a pre-recorded episode.
Yes. Well, we'll link it down below. But I'm excited. It looks like a good, solid one. Looks like we're going to get some good, solid releases for Halloween season. Looks like there's some really good ones. We're starting to hear more and more news of things like that. So I am super excited. So that's my thing in horror this week. What about you, Brewster?
Not much this week. It's just been keeping busy with this stuff, and I guess I don't know, with the time we were on here and my low battery, I'd say the only thing new coming up, I think, is in a week from when this airs would be the new Conjuring movie.
You'll have to let me know how it is.
I will. I'll be seeing it that following Monday. And then, like I said, I know VHS Halloween's coming out, but there hasn't been much in the world of horror right now. I mean, there's been a few trailers
I mean, of filming this, the new I Know What You Did Last Summer is on digital. So if you haven't had a chance to see that, go see it.
Not terrible.
I'm excited for it, but
I won't. We won't go into that right now.
I already know.
Fair enough.
I will tell you.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited. It looks like we're about to get a super cool spooky season. So I'm kind of hyped for that because it's like a low key. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit more low key. I'm excited for that. So, but thank you, Brewster, for coming on.
No, I always have fun coming on with you and Kylee. We missed you, Kylee, but I'll be back next month. We won't, if you want to tell.
Yeah, next month we will be with a very special guest.
I'm fucking pumped for that one.
Put in the description if you are listening to this and you might have an idea of who you think it is. Put it in the comments down below. I bet you don't. But it is going to be super excited. We're going to be talking about a cult classic, a cult vampire classic, and that's all I'm going to leave you with. So, but until next time, it's me, Cass, and
Brewster. Stay cool, freaky frighteners.
And the thumbs up is for Kylee. She couldn't be here, so she sent her regards. But we are the Horrorcraft Podcast, and we're saying bye and stay spooky. Bye.